allegedly, on August 4th, 1892, Lizzie Borden killed her stepmom with an axe.
We come into this world screaming, and most of us go out screaming.
The entire light disappeared, just like a giant, big object moved.
You're stronger than this thing is. It can't touch you unless you let it touch you.
What the fuck? All signs point to Lizzie as the murderer, but a lot of people don't talk about the maid, Maggie.
There's a spiritual war going on 24/7 between good and evil.
All of us, when we least expect it, are gonna die.
Yo, what's up, guys? Oh my god, my face cam is like... Okay, let's try... Okay. I mean, that's good. That will do. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. So, welcome to the first ever reaction video in... How long? Has this the last time I done a reaction video? For as well as Sam and Colby. Today we're going to be reacting to the Lizzie Borden house. Don't know anything about it that much. So we're going to jump in. I'm going to be watching through my Xbox. I'm going to try to time it. So right now we're at 109 seconds. So hold on. Okay.
What? So,
Okay. This is going to be hard.
guys, this is Sam and Colby.
Today we are here with Katrina, Stas, and our new friend Amanda,
Bueno.
who is actually a medium.
Hey you guys, my name is Amanda Ray, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm a medium, which means that I can see and speak to people who have passed on. This has been something that I've been doing since before I was even really able to speak.
She can see and talk to dead people, which is fantastic because tonight we're staying overnight at the most famous U.S. unsolved murder mystery house, the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah!
Yo! We're about to go through the entire house and do a whole tour and everything like that, but in order to do this whole video justice, you guys got to realize how insane this story is. I think the best place to start would be Lizzie Borden's grave.
That's here.
A minute down the road.
All right, let's go.
Borden family graves.
Oak Grove Cemetery.
Closed from dusk till dawn. All right, guys, we are in the graveyard right now. Totally forgot that it was super late already and that there's like 1,000 graves in here. And there's cops coming. Great.
Yeah, we have to find the entire Borden family.
I think this is it right there. Yeah, she was buried next to her sister, and then there's AJ Borden. That's Andrew Borden, her parent. Alice was one of the sisters, and then there's Emma. And that's Lizzie's right there.
Sorry,
we're about to go take a tour of the Lizzie Borden house, but before we do that, I'm just going to give you the spark notes really quick. So basically there was a Christian girl named Lizzie Borden living in her house with her sister. She had a stepmom and her father, and all of the entire family did not get along whatsoever. However, the parents were super rich, so of course Lizzie was wondering where that inheritance would go to. Who's gonna get the money, pretty much.
She was very scared that the stepmom would actually end up getting that inheritance and all the property and everything like that. So she knew she had to do something about that. So allegedly, on August 4th, 1892, Lizzie Borden waited until her dad left the house, went upstairs, and killed her stepmom with an axe. Axed her 19 times in a very brutal murder, and then waited for her dad to get back and did the same thing to him.
The only other person at the house during the time of the murders was a maid named Bridget Sullivan, but they called her Margaret or Maggie. But for some reason in trial, she stuck up for Lizzie, and they ended up both getting off scot-free and living the rest of their lives, not having to go to jail whatsoever.
No consequences at all. This is still an unsolved mystery to this day, but there is a lot of evidence that shows why Lizzie Borden was in fact the person that killed her parents. And then what we're trying to figure out today is why would Maggie, the maid, lie on the stand and basically vouch for Lizzie in these murders?
And more importantly, how did the cops not realize that it was Lizzie when honestly there was a lot of evidence where they could figure it out?
For example, a couple days before this happened, Lizzie told her friend that something was about to happen to her father, and she attempted to buy cyanide at a store.
There's another fact where literally it's rumored that Lizzie's dad killed her pigeons with a hatchet in her basement, and what murder weapon did Lizzie choose to murder them? Quote unquote, a hatchet.
Basically all signs point to Lizzie as the murderer, but a lot of people don't talk about the maid, Maggie. So hopefully we can talk to the dead, get some answers, and figure out why this place is so haunted. Amanda, do you think you could talk to the these people?
Well, I mean, the whole reason that I'm here is because a lot of YouTubers use equipment like dowsing rods, things like that they say work. You guys took it one step further and found somebody who can actually communicate straight with the dead.
Oh,
so
God.
I'm super excited.
She came here on this trip without knowing anything. She specifically asked not to know the information. And when we first pulled up to do the intro, what did you see?
The woman came out to greet us. She called herself Margaret.
Oh!
And so I asked you guys, I was like, do you guys know anything about a Margaret? Like, is that connected to this house?
Yeah.
And you go, no. And then we're at dinner and we find out the maid, Bridget, went by Margaret or Maggie.
Maggie.
The maid, the one who took care of the house, she saw walk out of the house already. Like, again, blows my mind to actually see dead people, but that was the first thing she saw without knowing any information about this place. Did you feel anything next to Lizzie's grave?
Everywhere I go, like grocery stores, doctor's offices, everyone living has dead people with them. Your loved ones are following you around. They're always with you. Graveyards, they're not sitting here waiting for you to come and visit their grave. They're out with their family members. Margaret's through that window. She
Wait,
just walked
what?
that
This
way.
one?
This purple one right here.
She's just staring at you?
No, she just walked that way. That would be rude. Staring's rude. She was standing there like she was waiting for us to come in.
What do they look like?
They look like living people.
Was it like
Come
a
on
blurry
in.
sort of a thing, or it's like a
No, it's like
you
for
see?
a second I thought that she was a real person. Living people feel different than dead people do.
Yeah.
So when I looked at her, I was like, oh, that's Margaret.
All right, let's go in.
I think we're the top floor too. Here we go.
Let's go.
Oh, creepy door.
I just heard that.
Already, shit happens when you bring people like me here. It's like a lighthouse.
That's the room of one of the murders right there.
This is Lizzie's room.
This is Lizzie's room?
This is Lizzie's room. Is this the maid's room?
That's where we're about to go right now, upstairs.
Somebody used to, like, rooms were switched.
So we're going up to the attic right now.
Which is apparently the most haunted place.
And also Maggie's room.
Whoa, I feel it in my head already.
Actually?
Yeah.
What are you feeling?
Pressure. There's a lot of regret in this room. That's the woman that I saw coming into the house that stepped outside.
That's Maggie,
Maggie.
who literally lied on the court stand to protect Lizzie, aka guilt.
I would like to keep going, but I can tell you Lizzie did not kill her parents.
Whoa, that is a big
That's crazy.
accusation. Holy shit.
Exploring Lizzie Borden's house.
This is the official tour.
This is the official tour.
Yeah. Okay.
Before we start, Jack, can you give a little introduction who you are?
I'm Jack Sheridan. Been here this 4th of July will be 11 years. I need a volunteer.
Want to do it?
Yeah.
Shaw.
Okay.
Shaw.
Act like you're making the bed and do a good job. Don't disappoint us. Abby was up here making this bed, and they did have a housekeeper, Bridget Sullivan. They called her Maggie. They didn't actually trust Maggie enough to let her up into the 2nd floor. You're supposed to be making the bed.
I'm not getting paid enough.
Come on, Amanda, let's go.
Maggie isn't allowed in the 2nd floor, so this left bed making to the Borden women. Whoever kills Abby is going to come up that front flight of stairs. There's no defensive wounds on her body whatsoever, which would lead us to believe she probably recognized her killer. She took 18 to 20 blows to her head, so her killer was undoubtedly angry.
Do you know what object was used for the murder?
More than likely an axe. They never proved it to be the weapon used. Why don't you come down here, Mrs. Borden? That first blow would have entered the side of her head, and it would have spun her around so she's facing the wall. Then she probably fell to her knees. That was one blow, so we'll have another 17, 18 to go. She goes down like Joe Frazier and lights out for her. She would be there for 60 to 90 minutes before Andrew returned and would die a similar fate. You were lovely, thank you very much.
Yeah, woo!
You can see her head is just demolished there. We were talking about John Moss on the wall. It kind of looks like the love child of Will Ferrell and Abe Lincoln. Right?
I mean, it does.
Yeah. He showed up here August 3rd, and he spent the night before the murder in this room. He agreed to meet Andrew
On the
back
day
here
of the
later in the
murders.
day. On his way back, he took a trolley. In that brief trolley ride here, he did commit to memory the name of the 2 horses pulling the trolley and the name of all 6 passengers, because that's what you do when you get in the form of mass transit. You remember the name of 6 strangers and a couple horses, right? Does that make sense?
That's random.
He gets off the trolley in front of the house here, and he sees police everywhere, going in and out both the front and back door. You think he would have said, "My dear niece Lizzie, what happened? Is she okay?" He doesn't. He just kind of comes up the side of the house here, goes to a pear tree, pulls a few pears down and begins eating them until the Fall River police approach him, asking him who he is, what he's doing here. However, there is about 90 minutes of this man's day that we just couldn't verify his whereabouts. Wasn't a big fan of Andrew. He felt his nieces should have been married off, they should have children, they should be enjoying electricity. Andrew wouldn't put electricity in the house. Andrew was a very wealthy man. In today's money, it'd be worth over $3 million. Lizzie's room was right through here.
Just to catch everybody up really quick, you said you saw a couple people before we even started filming this video. One was Maggie, Bridget Sullivan, but another one...
Forward. So I was in the shower this morning. There was a woman in the bathroom with me. Her name was Addie. I don't want to do any research, so I was asking you, who's Addie? Like, what does this mean for the case? It's Abby.
Abby.
You told me. And Abby was the stepmother. Here's the part where I don't understand. She told me that she ran. Also, before I ever came in the house and you guys came back, I was like, who's Margaret? Margaret said money wasn't worth it.
Money wasn't worth it, so she's guilty.
So now I'm wondering, because later you guys told me that she lied on the stand. I believe the uncle killed her.
John Morris.
John Morris. I also wrote down Moore this morning.
Before she knew anything.
She didn't know any names.
And so far, John Morris, the uncle, was very suspicious. She doesn't believe that Lizzie killed her parents, and then also saying that Margaret feels super guilty and that the money that she might have been paid off to lie on the stand wasn't worth it.
I
You felt
believe
regret as soon as you went upstairs.
that's literally, and I didn't know it was Margaret's room, Maggie's room.
Oh
So
my God.
that's like why I believe that I'm kind of on the right track, and especially with Moore coming through. Morse. Sorry, I'm gonna say Moore because that's what I heard the first time, and that's what stuck in my head. So if I say Moore, it's John Morris, the uncle.
John Morris is the killer.
No doubt. And okay, here's the other thing that I've been waiting to ask him. I told you to literally write down what in the other room. Butcher knife. More butcher knife. I just can't shake this butcher knife thing out of my head.
Lizzie's bedroom.
You were right. She literally called it that this was Lizzie's bedroom without knowing.
This was Emma's bedroom. It's more like they had one big room they shared. When they were younger, they were kind of flip-flop.
Like rooms were switched.
Oh yeah.
What's crazy is if the murderer was said to come up this staircase, you can literally see the dead body from the stairs.
Yeah.
Like they could just look in and just already know that somebody was dead.
Meaning,
Yeah.
if anyone were to come up these stairs during the murder happening, they would have seen it.
Somebody's lying.
Somebody's lying.
This is the room where Lizzie was actually arrested. If you look up there on the wall, you see a picture of Lizzie's jury. They're all male. They're all Caucasian. Women weren't allowed to sit in juries then. Women were treated awfully. Actually, I'm fairly certain if I were a woman in the 19th century that I would have killed every man I met.
I already want to do that. That's good.
Yeah. I can't blame you at all. I just hope I'm not one of them. But at any event, her jury, they sat for that photograph, framed it, and all 12 of them signed the back of it and gave it to her as a gift.
What?
Yeah, that really says a lot, doesn't it?
Why do you think they would have done that?
I don't know. I think it was Don't Forget Us, maybe.
We did you a favor
Like
type of thing?
ULS?
Yeah, there was some racial animosity in this trial. Lizzie was an English Protestant woman. 11 of her jurors were English Protestant. The police that arrested her were Irish Catholic. History of the Irish and the English is,
Brutal.
it was certainly an issue in the case. When you had a gathering, someone would sing, someone would play a piano. It was rather pleasant. But you can see the name of the song, You Can't Chop Off Your Papa in Massachusetts, and it's a real song.
No way.
And yeah, absolutely. Dining room is right through here. That is Abby's head. They removed her hair. They counted 18 to 20 blows. I mean, that's not a random act of violence.
No way.
That's Andrew. They're kind of focusing that with your eyes for a minute to really make sense of it. But you can see the coach. Let's go out there and we talk about Andrew's death a little bit.
She's sitting
It's
right
right here,
there.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to hold that axe up? Hold it right above her head.
Okay.
Now
Slowly.
with one hand, just bring it down.
Oh.
It's not real. Do it like you mean it. Yeah, there you go. But that's gonna pull blood, brain, bone,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be a hot mess, right? You guys want to go up to the third floor?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
Dude, I don't know about you, but every single person sounds fishy as hell. Bridget Sullivan,
Yeah.
Maggie is doing the windows while this all happens and the doors are magically locked. Lizzie apparently just couldn't hear anything, like couldn't hear any murders happening. It's like everybody has something, a part of this story that we've heard that just doesn't add up.
The uncle sounds suspicious. Definitely Bridget Sullivan would have known this would happen. No wonder it got acquitted because there's so many stories. Also, Bridget and Lizzie, obviously, from what he said, took a very, very long time to actually report this to the police.
And why did it take the cops so long to show up?
2 days for them to actually go in and like investigate everything.
Does that mean the bodies were left here for that long?
I think they got the bodies like that day, but like they didn't do a whole investigation until the 6th.
It makes no sense to me, man.
Yeah. The mystery of Bridget.
We are in the attic, which looked nothing like this when the Bordens lived here. With that door closed, you can imagine how cold it got in the winters and how hot it got in the summers. I'm just gonna have a seat because I'm old and overweight.
During the trial, Maggie stood up for...
Yeah, she testified to Lizzie's innocence. 10 years
I don't know
later,
who
she
called
is
me, guys.
discovered in the great state of Montana. She bought a ranch. She bought a ranch and filled it up with horses. This woman is an Irish immigrant, a housekeeper by trade, who can't even read. Where did she get that money?
Bridget Sullivan, Maggie, was paid off. There was a lot of money involved with this Borden
She
family,
said it wasn't about
obviously.
the
Biggest
money
culprits right now
earlier.
are John Morse, Lizzie Borden, and or Bridget Sullivan, Maggie herself, because she felt so like regretful and was like lied and always changed her stories like on the stands and on the trials. Like everybody here is agreeing that she was probably paid off. It doesn't make any sense. And again, she was around the house like when these happened. Like, there's so many things that is like, she knew that they were gonna die that night.
What is this, the kids' room, you said?
Call it the kids' room, yeah. People flee this house in the middle of the night, which actually happens a lot.
No.
Have you ever heard any stories? Like,
Oh,
did they tell
you know,
you?
from being touched, having blankets ripped off of them.
Oh my God.
My
It's this
God.
room and the room Abby was murdered in that really seem to be the rooms that send people packing really quickly.
That's great.
So is your room, Kat?
No, I'm not sleeping in this room.
This is where everybody seems to think those children are residing, whether it's children jumping on a bed or pulling someone's blankets off or playing with toys in the middle of the night. You feel your bed moving at night. I mean,
That's great.
yeah.
I don't want to be laying here
Damn.
and then feel like somebody
Oh, right.
brush
You
up.
have to think, you know what I mean?
They
That
were
would freak
people
me
at
out.
one point.
There's nothing wrong with being dead. All of us, when we least expect it, are gonna die. We come into this world screaming, and most of us go out screaming, right? Death isn't easy.
Okay.
That's a great way to put it.
crazy quote.
This is morbid.
On that happy note, should we continue our tour?
Do you think Abby went out screaming too?
Abby lost consciousness immediately. The
See,
room
that's the
was
bit-
destroyed.
Contradicted everything that was just said.
Okay, so Jack, our guy, just talked to us about this room, which is one of the most haunted and crazy rooms. A lot of people run out of this room screaming at night and can't stay the night because of this room. It's because the Bordens apparently had like cousins. All the kid cousins were murdered by the parents. This is one of the rooms that we have rented out and we get to stay in, and he literally said like, yeah, it's
Why would the
crazy.
parents kill their
Why
children?
does all the Borden family like have murders in their like history?
Like so many Borden people. I thought it was just like the one thing. So many people have like murder in their history.
Okay, hold on.
Borden people. I thought it was just like the one
Hold
thing.
on.
So many people have like. She just said have fun with the.
Okay, she said have fun with the demons, okay. Hold on, I'm just gonna pause it right here.
Demon.
Okay.
A lot of guests do not actually get to come down here, and this is where the murder weapon was stowed.
This is a cistern. This is a lot like the cistern that that woman next door drowned her children in, right?
Oh.
If you look up there, you'll see that pipe with those gruesome stains coming out of it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
disgusting.
That's 19th
Ugh.
century rainwater. If you hold your camera up, right,
Rainwater.
and you take a picture with flash on, sometimes people will see a face on the wall looking back at them.
Nose,
wait.
mouth.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh, it does.
Totally.
Let's see that. It
Oh,
is
shit.
not-
It surprises me
Lizzie.
that they would
put the murder weapon in the house still. But the blade was found there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was found here.
That's what's so odd to me.
I think time was of an issue. Lizzie's best friend, Alice Russell, walks into the kitchen and she sees Emma standing in the kitchen and she sees Lizzie go into the closet there. Lizzie pulls out a blue dress that has dark stains on it. She says, "I am never wearing this again." And Emma says, "Yeah, just get rid of it." So she puts it in the stove and burns it. Alice sees this and her first reaction is pretty much OMG. She goes to the police and proceeds to throw Lizzie under the bus.
So dark
Snitches
stains,
get stitches, right?
big blood stain
Yeah.
on her
Lizzie's
dress.
obviously never talking to the switch again.
Where was the fire? Super importante. That was when I came into your guys' room at 1:30 to check out. I read you my notes and I said, where was the fire in the Lizzie Borden house? That's very important.
Fast forward to the trial. The woman who made the dress, she says that Lizzie was wearing the dress in question the day Andrew had the house painted dark green. After the trial, she did buy that seamstress a house. It was nice, right? People just buy you a house. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have it all.
Weird.
A lot of people feel really frightened here, and I did have one instance. I was up in Bridget Sullivan's room, and I had a larger tour, and I heard like laughter from like a little guy, boy, girl, you couldn't tell, must have been age 5 or under. I ended my tour in this room, took a look at my crowd, and went, okay, no youngsters in here. And so that was the only experience I had that I can't entirely rationalize.
And you guys have just like a real hatchet here for any specific reason, or?
We do. I brought that.
Yeah, just random.
I was just wondering. That's it.
Well, pick it back up. That's what I want everybody to do. I want you to pick it up, feel the weight of it,
Yeah.
and see how easy it would be, to inflict that type of damage.
5-year-old
I've
could
heard
kill someone with it.
So many people tell me that women just aren't strong enough to inflict that kind of damage.
You wanna try it?
When you pick it up, you
You
can
try
see
it.
just how easy it would be to just pulverize someone's skull with that.
Why do you think Maggie would have lied on the stand for Lizzie other than just the money? Or do you think that's
Is that enough?
That's it.
Is that
Yeah.
the main reason?
I mean, what's the #1 motivating factor for murder in every first world nation dating back to the Roman Empire?
Money.
Power and money.
Money. She a Capricorn? I'm just kidding.
Cool. We're gonna start this investigation then.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
This whole house.
Okay, that's where we're gonna have to leave it here, guys. The investigation will be in the next episode. So, see you guys soon. Peace out.